Autoline Daily is brought to you by Borg Warner. Feel good about driving. Bosch. The number of clean diesel models in North America will double by 2014. Bosch Clean Diesel. Good, clean, fun. Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. Dow Automotive Systems. Improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com. And by the 2013 Hyundai Sonata. Learn more at HyundaiSonata.com.
Hello and welcome to Autoline Daily. It's Tuesday, June 26, 2012. I'm Scott Burgess from AOL Autos, filling in for John today. So let's get to the news. Yesterday, we reported that Toyota will shift some Yaris production from Japan to France to offset the strength of the yen. Reuters reports that it's part of an effort to cut production in the country 10% by 2014 to 3.1 million vehicles. But Toyota isn't the only Japanese automaker slashing production in Japan. Nissan will trim production by 15% to 1.1 million from 1.3 million units. Ford just released information on the 2013 F-150 Limited, the upscale version of the pickup truck. It comes standard with features like Sync with My Ford Touch, satellite radio, HID headlamps, and rain-sensing windshield wipers. It also features 22-inch polished aluminum wheels and is only available as a Super Crew 4-door cab. The F-150 Limited is powered by a 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine. The F-150 Limited goes on sale this fall. And speaking of new Ford product, the company announced that the 2013 Taurus, equipped with a 2-liter EcoBoost, will deliver a class-leading 32 miles per gallon on the highway. Its combined rating is 26 miles per gallon. Look for the 2013 Taurus in dealerships later this summer. And make sure you check out this week's live webcast of Roundabout. The show starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time this Friday. I was on the show a couple of weeks ago, and it's definitely worth tuning in for. This week, they're doing a special all-fan show. You get to set the agenda. So get in the chat room. Again, that's this Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Roundabout. Last Thursday, we told you about Audi elevating its top marketer, Scott Keogh, to president. Well, Autoline Daily caught up with the new chief of Audi of America at a product drive in Colorado, which we'll have a report on in a few minutes. And he told us how he intends to keep the momentum going for this white-hot luxury brand.
You know, we have a plan, and we're going to stick to that plan. It's really as simple as that. We're going to continue to build on the brand and keep it hot. We're going to continue to launch stunning products. We see a lot of opportunities out there. You've had a chance to drive a few of them today. Product Improvement A4 and A5, the all-new Allroad. And we're going to continue to work with our dealers. The dealers are investing a lot in facilities. They're investing a lot in transforming the customer experience. And we're going to keep pressing on these things. We think there's a lot of growth left in Audi.
And stay tuned for a look of one of the new products that Audi believes will continue that growth. It's an all-new version of the Allroad. 40 MPG is becoming more and more common nowadays. Less common is hitting that mark in a large car. The Toyota Avalon Hybrid joins the 40 MPG club this year with an Atkins cycle 4-cylinder, combining its share of 200 combined horsepower. The nickel metal hydride battery and electric motor do the rest. The Avalon has 3 driving modes, ranging from eco to sport, that change the efficiency and performance settings of the powertrain. However, sport mode still doesn't make much sense on a hybrid outside of the 24 hours of Le Mans. The 2013 Avalon loses some length and heft compared to the 2012 model. The loss in mass helps fuel economy, although the hybrid's battery packs only give it a 22-pound weight savings compared to the old model. It's a great American tradition to ignore the check engine light in one's own car for as long as possible, sometimes rooted in that belief that if you ignore it, it will just go away. This vital part of American culture can come back to haunt drivers as small repairs manifest into costly fixes. According to CarMD, a maker of automotive diagnostic tools, drivers in Wyoming pay the most to fix their neglected check engine lights. In general, Western states paid more for their car fixes, while Eastern and Midwestern states paid less.
I'm Isaac Bouchard in the Rocky Mountains, the natural habitat of Audi's latest. That story coming up next.
reducing exhaust emissions, aerified diesel particulate filters, high filtration, low back pressure, small package size, excellent durability. DowAerify.com.
I'm here outside of Denver, Colorado, and this line of cars represents the reintroduction of the Audi Allroad to the American market after a 5.5-year absence. The Allroad is now built on the A4 platform that Audi internally designates as the B8. It used to be built on the C5 platform, which is what Audi calls an A6.
As far as size goes, they're actually quite similar. Only a handful of inches on the exterior separates a C5 Allroad from a B8 Allroad. Really shows how much the B8 and the A4 platform has grown over the years to become basically a C segment from yesteryear. It's important to note that unlike the C5 counterpart, this uses a fixed suspension. So it's 1.5 inches ground clearance raised over the A4 Avant. And with the modular architecture that we have on the A4 and on the B8 platform, we're actually able to take the track from an A5, marry that to the A4 Avant platform, and you also we've changed the profile on the tire to a 45 series for a bit more ground clearance as well, and then revised the final drive ratio to compensate for that. So overall, not just a body kit.
So we've just crossed the Continental Divide at over 11,000 feet elevation, and the Audi Allroad is still pulling strong. That's amazing when you realize it's only powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder, but it's got a turbo, and it actually outperforms the twin-turbo V6 in its predecessor. Not only is it faster 0 to 60, but it gets over 25 miles per gallon in mixed use, which is amazing for something I would consider a crossover. My 2 favorite aspects, though, of the Audi Allroad are its steering and its ride. Its steering is the first instance I've seen where they've used an electromechanical setup that is actually nicer to use than a hydraulic system, and it's more fuel efficient and lighter. And the ride is simply sumptuous. They use a taller profile tire and a longer spring, and the result is something that will absorb the worst that the road, whether it's in the mountains or in downtown, can dish out and not upset the occupants. You combine these attributes, and I think you've got what should be considered the future of the crossover. It'll be interesting to see if consumers agree with me and with Audi.
So the market, I think, we feel is right for this car. In the past, if you remember the C5 Allroad, that existed in a time before Audi had a Q7, before Audi had a Q5. It was right during the time of the big SUV explosion in the US. And now I think that customers are starting to really find their place in terms of what car suits them best. The Allroad is the perfect example of someone like me who in the city navigates some pretty junky roads with potholes and things like that, so I would appreciate the raised suspension and the thicker sidewalls that are in the Allroad. But I also would like to, of course, take to the mountains in the weekends, for snowboarding or for mountain biking, things like that. And so you really have the opportunity with the Allroad, with the Q5, with the Q7, to have a specific answer for each one of those customers. So this is really a perfect time for this car in the market.
The Audi Allroad will compete with a variety of vehicles, from BMW's 3 Series to the Subaru Outback and Volvo Cross Country, even some more conventional crossovers and SUVs. Audi believes that its potent combination of practicality, fuel economy, and panache will ensure it outsells its predecessor. From Vail, Colorado, I'm Isaac Bouchard for Autoline Daily.
And that wraps up today's show. Again, I'm Scott Burgess from AOL Autos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.